All right, let's talk about this. There's this clip that's been, just haunting the internet. It's just a single penguin marching away from its colony, heading straight for this vast, empty mountain range. It's somehow become a symbol for a whole generation. But what's the real story here? What's actually going on?
Oh yeah, you've seen the memes, for sure. Captions just like this one that totally nail that dark, kind of relatable humor of the whole thing. It's that feeling of just wanting to walk away from it all. But here's the thing. This isn't just some funny edit. It's a real moment from a real documentary. And the story behind it, it's way deeper than the memes let on.
So let's really get into it. We're going to trace this whole thing back, from a viral moment in 2026 all the way to its source. We'll look at the science and then really dig into why. Why did this one little bird's journey become such a perfect mirror for how so many of us feel?
Okay, first up, how did this thing just explode? Because back in early 2026, this wasn't just another video. It was a whole cultural moment.
I mean, the idea is so simple, but you just can't look away, right? You've got thousands of penguins all doing their thing, and then this one. This one just breaks formation. It turns its back on the ocean, where the food is, and its colony, where it's safe, and just starts this determined march into the middle of nowhere.
But what really sealed the deal, what gave this meme its whole vibe, was the music. And it's not the original audio from the documentary. Nope. Instead, it's this incredibly solemn, beautiful pipe organ cover of, get this, a 90s Eurodance hit. So you've got this rave anthem that's been turned into something that sounds like a funeral march. It was the perfect, tragic soundtrack for this penguin's walk into the void.
All right, so to really get where this clip comes from, we have to rewind. Let's go back to 2007, when the whole vibe around penguins was, well, it was very different.
So, just a couple of years before, March of the Penguins was this massive global hit, right? It painted this picture of penguins as these super wholesome, heroic symbols of family and survival. And then along comes Werner Herzog. And his documentary, Encounters at the End of the World, was the exact opposite. He wasn't interested in some heartwarming story. He was looking for the weird, the unsettling, the stuff that happens when you reject the whole fluffy penguins narrative.
And this quote from the man himself says it all. Herzog's mission was clear. He wasn't in Antarctica to make another cute nature doc. He was there to explore the strange dreams and realities of the people who live at the end of the world. So when he pointed his camera at the animals, he wasn't looking for a feel-good story. He was looking for something that reflected his own view of nature, which is, well, it's pretty chaotic and indifferent.
And this leads to the absolute key moment. Herzog is on camera, and he asks a penguin scientist, point blank, is there such a thing as insanity among penguins? I mean, what a question to ask. It's so provocative, so human. And that question is what sets up the whole scene we all now know so well, the one with the lone penguin walking away.
Okay, but before we get too lost in the philosophy of it all, what's the science here? What's actually going on with this penguin? Is it really insane?
Well, biologists have some pretty logical explanations. The most likely one is just a tragic case of disorientation. A penguin's internal GPS, the way it uses the sun or the Earth's magnetic fields to navigate, it might have just broken. Other ideas point to maybe a neurological illness, or a parasite scrambling its instincts. Or, hey, maybe even just the intense stress of the breeding season made it confused and wandered off.
And the path it chose was absolutely fatal. We're talking about a journey of around 70 kilometers. That's about 43 miles straight inland, into a wasteland with zero food and zero shelter. For a bird that can't fly, I mean, that is a death march, plain and simple.
But here's the detail from the documentary that makes this whole story so unforgettable, so haunting. The researchers actually tried to help. They saw the penguin, they caught it, and they carried it all the way back to the colony and set it down facing the ocean, facing safety. And what did it do? Without a second's hesitation, it turned right back around and started walking towards the mountains again. That suggests something more than just being lost. It's like a compulsion, something that just couldn't be shaken.
And that compulsion, that unshakable drive, that's why this story hits so hard. It's the moment we stop seeing a lost animal and we start to see ourselves. For Herzog, this scene is the ultimate proof of his whole worldview. He doesn't look at nature and see a grand, beautiful plan. He sees chaos. For him, a penguin marching to its death for no apparent reason, that's nature in its purest, most brutal, and most indifferent form. Herzog might see but we don't. We just can't. As humans, we're hardwired to find meaning, to
tell stories. We can't just look at this and say, oh, that's just a random biological error. No way. We look at that penguin and we project all of our own feelings, our own stories, right onto its journey.
So, what's the story we're telling with this meme in 2026? It's become this incredibly powerful symbol for all these modern feelings, right? That feeling of burnout, the whole quiet quitting thing, that deep down existential dread. It's the perfect picture of wanting to reject the routine, to walk away from it all.
You see captions like this one plastered all over the place. It's that direct, personal connection. Yep, that's me, walking away from all my responsibilities.
And this one really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? The meme goes viral because it shows on the outside what so many people are feeling on the inside. It visualizes this feeling of being stuck and just dreaming of escape no matter what it costs.
And then, for some people, it becomes this kind of declaration of independence. This isn't just a sad bird anymore. It's a trailblazer, choosing its own path, refusing to just follow the herd. We're all on our way to the mountains, and we don't owe anyone an explanation.
Which brings us to the real heart of the nihilist penguin phenomenon, right? It's this huge gap between what the penguin is and what we see in it.
So on one side, you've got the scientific reality. It's a disoriented animal, it's a biological glitch, a sad but probably explainable anomaly. But on the other side, you have our story. It's a tragic hero, a relatable philosopher. It's a mirror for our own anxieties, our own desire for freedom.
And that right there is the key takeaway from all of this. The incredible power of this meme. It has almost nothing to do with an actual penguin. It's a cultural Rorschach test. What you see in that lonely little figure walking towards the mountains, it says everything about our collective mood right here, right now.
So I'll leave you with this question. When you watch that clip, what do you see? Do you see a broken animal, a glitch in the system marching to its death? Or do you see the only truly free creature on that entire sheet of ice, choosing its own destiny? Whatever your answer is, it probably says a lot more about you than it does about the penguin.